Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood. Now it's 6:30.
Hey, good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30. We're getting results for you tonight. Thank you for joining us here live on the beautiful News 6 Plus. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm Matt Austin.
Same as yesterday. I'm Ginger Gatson. Let's get right to your forecast, though. Meteorologist Julie Broughton joins us now. Julie?
You know, I've never heard the News 6 app, News 6 Plus app described as gorgeous, but I love it. So let's go with this. This is also a gorgeous shot for you right now. This is our Daytona Beach sky cam. Now, we are going to see some changes. The same front that is going to bring us a beautiful weekend is going to bring us the potential of some isolated to strong to even severe storms through the evening hours. Now, right now, we're sitting at 82 with sunny skies in Daytona Beach. If you're in Orlando, you're at 83. It is 78 degrees right now in Mico and Ocala. You're checking in at 76 degrees. Now, we are looking at a level 1 threat, so a marginal risk of some strong to severe storms really from around the Apopka area, Lake Apopka north. So all of our northern counties shaded in green. You have the best chance of seeing some of those stronger storms. Here's how the radar looks for us right now. Now, we aren't seeing any showers and thunderstorms in our immediate area, but we are starting to see some light rain in extreme northern Marion County, and we'll start to see some showers continuing to pop up over the next hour to 2 hours. All of this out ahead of a front that is bringing some severe weather stretching from Jacksonville back out over the Gulf. That front is pushing to the south, and so we'll start to see some showers popping in the next couple of hours, then clearing during the overnight hours, and then we can expect a beautiful weekend. We'll break all this down for you hour by hour coming up.
Julie, thank you. More than 107,000 people in Orange, Osceola, and Seminole counties are spending more than 40% of what they make just to keep a roof over their heads.
And as the cost of living keeps going up, so does the number of people in desperate need of help. News 6's Catherine Silver is in Seminole County looking at one way they're meeting that challenge, and it's a resource that may make a difference for you.
This room on the first floor of the Sanford Courthouse is an extension of attorney Shannon Smythe's office. A table and chairs. It may not look like much until you meet someone like Linda Jackson.
All I want to do is be heard.
A senior with 3 children facing eviction.
12, 9, and 8. I adopted. I promised that I would have them a place to stay, food on the table.
You literally had a deputy at your door.
He was coming in 15 minutes, and that's when I received the notice that I was going to have a hearing. We would have been homeless.
You see, this room may not look impressive, but it's where attorneys like Smythe with Seminole County's legal aid are meeting clients like Jackson and making an impact, offering legal advice to those in our community who are the faces of Florida's affordable housing crisis.
When I met Miss Jackson, she was at that point where they had posted the writ on her door, so she had 24 hours. I see this every day.
While the median price of a single-family home in Florida keeps rising, one report found there's only 24 affordable rental units available for every 100 households that need one. It's efforts like legal aids that get results.
Since January, we've helped just under 100 people where there's mold, where there is a rat infestation, and they just cannot repair it themselves. So they need help.
Now anyone can walk into this space at the courthouse and have immediate access to a resource that will hopefully resolve their rental dispute or maintenance concern.
It's not every day that we get to tell a story where people get help immediately.
Right.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and this service requires it. If she didn't get that help within hours of contacting our office, she would not be in the situation she is in now.
And it's free.
Correct.
And it's changing, one life at a time. For Jackson, it was buying her enough time to get her case in front of a judge.
Her children, at least until the 17th, when we have our hearing, they're stable. That stability piece, you can't put a price on it.
I really can't put into words. Now that my children can lay down in their bed and have a place to stay, at least people know my story. And I want people out there that's being evicted illegally to get in touch with Adobe. If he could just help one person, then I did my job.
It helped you?
Yes, it did. We're still there. We have 15 minutes.
In Seminole County, Catherine Silver, News 6.
So glad she's sharing her story because it will really help other people.
Yeah, to know that that option's out
Yeah.
there when you have 3 kids 15 minutes
15.
away from being homeless.
Goodness.
It's a terrifying prospect. Well, a new survey found almost a quarter of Americans struggle with unmanageable debt. Millennials, that's people born between 1981 and 96, are now the largest generation of consumers seeking debt relief.
Yeah, their average personal debt balance reached a record high $30,000 last year. Producer Robert Brewer spoke to a millennial in Deltona whose family is finally getting the help they need.
We were thinking about selling one of the cars. We couldn't go anywhere because we weren't paying for gas and stuff.
Is too high.
That's Michael, an account executive with Salesforce development company Flowsome. His family was in the same situation as millions of Americans, mounting credit card debt with nowhere to turn.
It was a difficult time to think through that, wanting to take care of my family, my kids, my wife, and make sure I make ends meet. And so we were pretty stressed.
Stressed because his debt snowball had reached $46,000.
You had cut everything you could cut, you had budgeted everything you could budget, and you still knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, it was in that spot when we were desperate and asked for help.
So they talked to the bank about their situation and were recommended Money Management International, a nonprofit that helps people like Michael pay down their debt.
At the end of our counseling sessions, a lot of clients tell us that they just feel a weight lifted off their shoulder because they see a path forward.
MMI works with creditors to reduce your interest rates and finds monthly payments that fit your budget.
What we're looking for is ways to remove the stigma, remove that shame barrier, so that as many consumers that need help as possible get the help they need.
And there are a lot of people who need help. A new survey by Experian shows that nearly 1 in 4 adults in the U.S. are dealing with unmanageable debt.
That number surprises me a bit. I think it may be a bit low. I thought it would be higher than that because we all have debt at some point in life, it seems, just as a reality.
Rod Griffin from Experian says there's a light at the end of the debt tunnel. Their study found that 45% of adults were able to pay off a debt they once thought was unmanageable.
And realize you're not alone. I think that's really important. I've been there. Everybody I know has had a point in life where they've had some struggles, made some mistakes, had life events happen that was out of their control. And you can recover. There's people who can help and tools and resources for you.
Tools like Experian's free app and credit monitoring services, along with nonprofit counseling like MMI.
So you feeling a little less stressed nowadays?
Yeah, actually a lot less stressed.
With MMI's help and a whole lot of hard work and discipline, Michael's family will be free of that $46,000 credit card debt just 4 years after starting the program. In Deltona, Robert Brewer, News 6.
I felt stressed for them, just seeing that number pop up.
Hanging over your head. And 4 years sounds like a long time, but it's really not in the scheme of things.
I mean,
and to have that gone.
Realistically, that's a really nice chunk of time to get rid of that kind of debt. It's not going to go away overnight unless you just meet someone. It's like, here's $40,000 for you. Not going to happen.
Often. You just have to chip away at it.
Well, in a county struggling to pay firefighters better than $15 an hour, millions to help find solutions are suddenly becoming available. But it doesn't come without controversy, though.
As News 6's James Sparvero shows us, even a Brevard County commissioner who campaigned on helping firefighters make more money was against the move.
Liftoff, the final liftoff of Atlantis on the shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
As captivating as the final space shuttle launch was, the reality for the Space Coast economy was a crushed American dream. That's why back in 2011, the county and the city of Titusville, they created the North Brevard Economic Development Zone to help bring that growth back. And after 15 years, it's obvious the space industry has roared back. So now at this week's County Commission meeting, Commissioner Kim Atkinson proposed defunding NBEDS.
The project did its job in that crisis.
And giving that $3 million a year to Brevard County Fire Rescue.
Right now, we are having another crisis, and I am suggesting that we move money from one crisis to another.
We shouldn't be asking them to give up everything for their community for nothing in return.
Now, you might think Commissioner Katie Delaney sounds like she too would like this proposal. She did campaign on getting firefighters more money, and I've interviewed her twice now about this issue. But the Economic Development Zone is in her district. So at the commission meeting, she suggested the other commissioners pay their fair share.
Why is District 1 bearing the brunt of this issue? And where was your input, fellow commissioners, in funding our fire department?
We're at a critical staffing issue right now. I interviewed the union president when firefighters were protesting the other month. I then called Mike Bramson today, hoping to get his reaction to the new funding. When I hear back, we'll update this story on clickorlando.com. I did hear from the county today for an update on their current contract negotiations. They told me that next month they're expecting a magistrate to decide on a middle ground for both sides. That way, they can both move forward for at least the next year with a new contract. In Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results, News 6.
Of all the jobs you don't want to shortchange, firefighters, teachers, police officers, we have
those people
to take care of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Central Florida's #1 news website. Man, this thing is good. clickorlando.com.
Driving down the road on US 1, there's a car on the shoulder with its hazards on, so move it on over. Move it on over. Move it on over. Move it on over. Moving over my ride, 'cause I'm driving safely again.
Man, if I didn't look at it, I thought that was Shabuzi.
A little different than Shabuzi. What is he doing? They're calling it utterly ridiculous. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office says it's absolutely necessary, though. A new music video showcasing Sheriff Wayne Ivey with a guitar, a dog, and then a guy dressed up as a cow.
Yeah, that's the part I was really fascinated by. It's Ivey's spin on an important rule of the road, though, that Florida law requires drivers to move over a lane when possible to do so safely for stop law enforcement or other vehicles with safety lights and disabled cars. Drivers caught not obeying the move over law can be fined and points on their driving record. But more importantly, it's unsafe for people on this side of the road. So I see his point. Sometimes you can get their attention with humor rather than saying something very serious.
Which he usually does.
Very much so.
Very high production quality.
I liked it.
Good looking music video.
Too.
And he doesn't have bad chops. The voice isn't bad, Sheriff.
Slow your roll.
I'm just saying. Here are some other top trending stories right now at clickorlando.com. We roll back the clocks to 1920 when the bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death, made its way to Pensacola in Florida's Panhandle. Teams used more than 1,000 pounds of cyanide and about 2,000 pints of sulfuric acid to fumigate buildings infested with rats.
Oof, okay. Cocoa Beach has shown up on USA Today's list of best small towns in the South. The gorgeous location on the Space Coast is perfect for catching waves or relaxing on the sand. ClickOrlando.com features 2 other small towns in Florida that also made the list. Well, if you thought weddings could not get any more expensive, have you heard of tariffs lately?
Oh, they can always get more expensive. Turns out your perfect dress could need valuable materials from China. A bridal service gave us some advice on how to save money on your gown.
But first, it's a big problem, lacking big awareness. Maternal mental health. The stigma is very real, as if the fight from a local doctor to find help from others.
You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Longwood, Wilbur by the Sea, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your weekend evening traffic alert. Listen, we're going to have a lot of good weather. We're going to have a lot of activities out there, but we're going to see a lot of construction. So please make sure you're paying attention. Turnpike will have those lane closures. And then, of course, along 417 north and southbound, Seminole and Orange. I know I sound like a parrot because I'm repeating this stuff, but overnight, these construction sites will be very heavy. So please be careful. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you Monday morning.
Well, this is kind of crazy. Research shows suicide and overdose are among the leading causes of death for women in the first year following pregnancy. Staggering proof of why maternal mental health care and awareness are so important.
Yeah, 800,000 American families are affected every single year, yet 75% of women impacted remain untreated. News 6 anchor Bridget Ellison spoke with a local therapist doing everything she can to save lives.
Just the impact of sitting in a NICU for 100 days definitely took an impact on my overall mental health. And it's honestly the passion that I have behind maternal mental health and maternal health.
Through her own ups and downs with motherhood, Dr. Shaynor Ishmael's work as a maternal mental health therapist became more dedicated than ever. Her team at Inspired Counseling Center offers support to everyone and specializes in mental health care for patients before, during, and after pregnancy.
I realized there was a gap in the resources that were needed for women as they navigated this period.
Various types of stress and family history are believed to be major triggers for maternal mental health conditions, yet a majority, 75% of women impacted, go untreated, putting mother and baby at higher risk for complications.
So it plays a major role in the overall perinatal period, which is why it's so important to address it, to acknowledge it, and also to be proactive in preventing the development of symptoms.
So what's causing this huge gap in care? Many times stigmas around mental health and lack of awareness. For instance, postpartum depression is commonly confused with baby blues.
It is a hormone regulation. So 80% of birthing individuals experience baby blues in the postpartum period. That should start to wane around 4 to 6 week mark. If you are still experiencing, like I said, the extreme sadness, the crying more days than not, the withdrawing from loved ones, not bonding or attaching with the baby, there is a sense where these are red flag indicators that should either be assessed or you need to make an appointment with a mental health professional.
Dr. Shaynor says it's important for everyone to learn more about the wide variety of conditions that make up perinatal or postpartum mood and anxiety disorders.
So we have depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder. Under bipolar disorder, we have potential of psychosis, which is a medical emergency. We have OCD that can also arise during the perinatal period, as well as other diagnoses such as perinatal ADHD, things of that nature. So there is a broad span of diagnosis that could arise during the perinatal period, which is why it's so important to highlight potential symptoms that may come up and being aware of how these conditions can present.
That was Bridget Ellison reporting. For more resources on maternal mental health, click on this story at clickorlando.com. Just such an important thing to just bring awareness to. And Bridget will have more of these topics, including Black maternal health. That's coming up in a story that she is producing next week. Take you outside right now. This is a live look over beautiful Daytona Beach. Julie, you were looking at some images earlier. Did you ever figure out what all those people were looking at?
No, I hope we didn't miss some huge story. A lot of people were gathered on the beach, all looking in one direction.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they were watching surfing or...
Maybe a dolphin was out there.
Well, some of the people appeared to be in matching shirts. I thought maybe it's a school group and they're looking at
that's
something.
true.
So, maybe it was a field trip.
Nice out there today.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
Could have been all drinking Kool-Aid out there. Who knows? Could have been a cult. I don't know.
What is wrong with you?
I mean, I could get down with that maybe, Try new things. All right, we're watching for a few showers to come through tonight, and then we will see a beautiful weekend. So here's what you need to know with your weather headlines. We're watching that front that's getting pretty close to us. In fact, we have a severe thunderstorm warning right now for folks in Alachua County, which isn't in our viewing area, but it is that system that is headed our way. We'll clear all these showers out of here through the overnight hours, meaning we will be left with a beautiful weekend, breezy and dry. And then next week, we'll really bump up that heat again, getting close to 90 degrees by Monday. Here is our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera over downtown Orlando. Really looking beautiful out there as you are starting out your weekend. But look how warm it still is. We are still hanging at 83 degrees. Winds are coming in out of the west-southwest at 10 miles per hour ahead of that front, and that is a really warm flow for us, so that has kicked us into the 80s, even along the coast where we're typically a little bit cooler. You're at 84 in Titusville, 82 right now in Cape Canaveral, 76 in Ocala, and Wildwood, you are checking in right now at 73 degrees. Here's a look at the radar where we are dry across central Florida, but again, that front getting really close to us. As we go a little farther to the north, again, you have that severe thunderstorm warning in place for Alachua County and a lot of lightning with that. And then farther off to the north from Jacksonville, stretching back over toward the Big Bend area, that's where we have seen some heavy rain, gusty winds, even reports of hail, and a lot of lightning, a lot of special weather statements in place with this system as it continues on that track to the south. And those special weather statements are because of the gusty wind and the hail. So we're not expecting widespread strong to severe storms, but we can't rule out a few stronger storms as this front dips into central Florida. Clouds and rain forecast for you, stopping the clock at 9 o'clock. We do have a very dry air mass in place, so as this front gets a little bit closer to us, it will lose some of its energy as well. So like I said, we're not expecting a well-defined line of strong storms, but by 11 o'clock, still tracking a few of those showers from Sanford back down the I-4 corridor toward Lakeland. Midnight, we'll get that front draped right across central Florida and then pushing to the south by around 2 to 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when we'll wrap up any showers as our winds shift to the northwest, and that will tap into some cooler, drier air for our Saturday. And I really hope you can get out and enjoy this weekend because it is likely one of our last cool-ish weekends before we really get into the heat of summer. So your pinpoint accurate forecast: 60 overnight tonight in Orlando. You go to 54 in Ocala. Here is your hour-by-hour forecast as we take you through tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Hey, check out that picture, Matt and Ginger. Yeah, we've got a big day tomorrow. We are going to be at the Just Call Mo Celebrity Bowl-O-Rama, raising money for Rosie's Adventures. It's a great day to be outside. It's also a great day to be raising some money. 75 degrees at 2 o'clock. We go into the upper 70s. By 4 o'clock, we keep skies clear. We keep a lot of sunshine around. Next 7 days shaping up like this. 78 for your high tomorrow. We go up to 81 on Sunday. 87 on Monday. We keep it close to 90. Our next front comes through Tuesday into Wednesday. That should come through dry. Unfortunately, it's not going to cool us down a whole lot. 83 for your high on Wednesday, up to 86 Thursday and 87 Friday. Overnight lows stay mild, generally in the 50s and 60s, although Sunday morning could be a little on the cool side. Some of you northern counties may even wake up in the upper 40s.
Hey, I'm not just saying this, Julie. I would do it if I didn't know those people in that picture. That was a good-looking group.
I love my Photoshop pictures. Always the best.
Thank you, Julie. Our next stop on the road is Claremont. If you live there, we want to hear from you. What makes your community so special? What are your concerns? And what can we do to help you get results? Let us know at clickorlando.com/hitstheroad. Fill out the form and don't be surprised if you hear from us. Keep streaming. We'll be right back.
Coming up on Monday, an all-female crew, including Gayle King, gets ready to head to the edge of space.
We're going to hear from the Central Florida woman who has made the trip twice and why this mission could really have some big impacts.
Plus your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you Monday for News 6 Mornings starting at 5.
All right, one of the happiest days of your life could get a little more expensive. The wedding dress industry is preparing for an increase in prices as tariffs on imports from China continue.
News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez stopped by a local boutique to learn what brides should expect as the economy adjusts.
In the store. It's 100% silk, manufactured in Canada.
Co-founder of the bridal finery, Roberta Noronha, just got back from Bridal Fashion Week, where tariffs were top of mind.
It was a hot topic in New York. All the designers were talking about it. All the stores were talking about it. You know, it's on everyone's mind. The wedding dress industry overall, most dresses are manufactured overseas. They're manufactured in China, in Vietnam, in Ukraine.
This week, President Trump put a 90-day pause on most of his new tariffs, making the universal rate for the next 3 months 10%, except for China, now with a 125% tariff. Noronha says designers raised their prices ahead of Bridal Fashion Week in anticipation of tariffs. At her Winter Park store, most of the dresses are from Canada, so she anticipates less of an impact. Still, a lot of the materials needed to make these gorgeous gowns are made in Asia.
China produces the best silks. So a lot of the designers, even if they're manufacturing locally, they're getting their fabrics from overseas. So there's still going to be a price increase. We are expecting price increases across the board, no matter where the dresses are made.
She's encouraging brides to buy as soon as possible or to consider getting the dress they try on at the store.
If you find the dress and it works for you, we're willing to sell the sample to you to avoid, the ordering process and having to think about those things down the road. So we are very open, and we are encouraging brides to purchase off the rack because it'll help them with, the shipping down the road.
In Winter Park, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Okay,
right.
I mean, it's still going to be the happiest day of your life, right? But you're never going to wear that dress twice.
Right.
I don't care what they say.
Maybe just save some money on it. And
Just
just
elope
wear
is
a
what
white
he's trying
dress.
to say.
All I'm trying to say is there's a perfectly good judge out there. They can get you married.
I
telling
marry
you.
people.
Oh, that's
Julie
right
Rotten.
here.
That's right.
There
Right
you go.
here.
Cut you a deal.
Yeah. I like this idea.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Remember, stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
Remember, we break news at clickorlando.com. We'll see you tonight at 11. Have a great one.